Hey there photography friends, my name is Henry and on this YouTube channel I share the behind the scenes of my photography adventures.
Look what landscape photography does to us.
Some tips and tricks.
Then we've got the line coming in.
And of course, a little bit of banter.
Get a look at that.
Currently releasing one video per day over the Advent period. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel and hit that little notification bell so that you don't miss any of these uploads. Now let's get into today's video.
Good morning, ladies and gents, fellow photographers. Welcome back to my little Advent series here. We are back in the Highlands of Scotland. You can maybe see off in the background there where the sun is rising to the sort of northeast. Things are looking absolutely beautiful, and I am hiking up a mountain, let me put it this way, that I have wanted to hike up for years. So yeah, a warm welcome back to Scotland, ladies and gents. It's a pleasure to be back up here as always, and this looming beast that you can see behind me here is of course Stac Pollaidh. Perhaps a little bit of frost or a very light dusting of snow up the top there, but oh man, like I said, this has been a long time coming. I am so excited for this one. So yeah, it shouldn't be too tricky, shouldn't take too long, maybe a sort of 2-3 hour loop. And we're going to scoot up the right hand side of Stac Pollaidh, obviously head up to the top somewhere or near the top, and then you sort of scoot back round the other side and meet up with this path. But oh, what a way to see the day in, ladies and gents. For me, honestly, it doesn't really get any better than this. And well, I suppose I wanted to talk about that a little bit in today's video. The connections that we have to the things that we photograph. Look at this, ladies and gents. Oh, I can just feel my little mind getting blown. My little simple mind is in tatters. Yeah, but right off the bat, I'd love to know from you actually, because this, for myself at least, is a massive part of landscape photography as a whole and why I photograph certain places. In fact, why I photograph, full stop. But please do comment down below. I'd love to know if and where you have what you would say a connection to a landscape, maybe even just photography aside. Is it your heritage? Is it just something as simple as where you're from? Is it somewhere that you visited and you got a real feeling? I think sometimes it can sound a little bit cringy, to be honest, but for me, there's something going on with Scotland. I've tried to touch on this before, but I'm not very good at articulating it, purely because I don't understand it. My dad's from Scotland, so half of who I am, as far as I'm concerned, you know, is extremely well connected to this country, and that means a lot to me. But the past couple of years, I'm not sure. It feels like it goes deeper than that. Just my heritage, my roots, my past. There's something about this country and something very deep, and oh man, I love Scotland so much, and I really hope that it comes across in my photography, just to bring that sort of connection back full circle, because of course that's what we're out doing today, taking photographs of this wonderful landscape. But there's definitely a connection, and it definitely helps my photography as well. But yeah, drop a comment down below, let me know if you have these daft, cringy feelings for somewhere that means something to you. Daft, cringy feelings. I shouldn't say that, you know. If it's not extremely obvious, it's clearly like a bit of an insecurity about talking in that sort of way. Just to be completely honest and open about that, I do feel this way about Scotland, but I don't know what that is, if it's a cultural thing, if it's something to do with my upbringing. When I talk about my adoration for Scotland and for its landscapes and what it means to me, I just feel a bit like I've got this voice in my head saying, come on mate, just give it a rest, will you? But now this is me trying to make up for that and say no. I'm at my happiest when I'm at this place, man, when I'm in Scotland. And then that joy is just heightened when I'm photographing it as well. So this is me saying I mean it. I mean it 100%. This place means everything to me, man. So I don't want to hang around for too long because sunrise is in about 25 minutes and I want to be a little bit further up towards Stac Pollaidh for when that happens, or if that happens, I suppose I should say. Look at the clouds there. There's quite a few. That's where the sun is rising, somewhere over there, that general direction. But yeah, just grabbing a quick photograph, kind of abstract, I suppose. Telephoto, just zoomed in. Look down there. There's just this really nice sort of, I guess it's a pre-sunrise glow on the shores of Loch Lurgan, and it's nice. I don't think it's going to win any awards, let's put it that way, but yeah, just grabbing it handheld, knocking the ISO up to 2500, and if I'm being honest, probably just wanted to get a quick photograph on the memory card. So I know I was sort of saying that in a jokey way, you know, just wanting to get a quick photograph on the memory card, but I think that's something that I definitely do. And I think it's something that benefits my photography, where I just get a photograph early doors, I just get one. And it sets me up then, it starts me off. It's like when you have a little starter when you go out for a 3-course meal, and it just whets the appetite, just gets you going a little bit, you know. I think that's the best way I could describe it. The best analogy. But wow, back to Skura up there. That's got probably a little bit more snow or frost. I still don't really know what it is. There's Stac Pollaidh there, but yeah, just scanning around really like a little Highland eagle, just seeing what potential there is to snap some shots as that sun comes up and starts lighting up all these mountain peaks. Starting to get, look at this, whoa, it's starting to get a little bit icier the higher we get up. You know what, in saying that, it's only about 600 odd metres, Stac Pollaidh, but I guess it's this wider Asint Coigach area that is just like relatively flat in a weird way, but then there's loads of mountains just kind of jutting out of this flat landscape out of nowhere. That sounds a bit daft, aren't all mountain ranges like that, but when we get up there, hopefully it's clear enough that I can show you what I mean. It's really, really beautiful. It's one of my favourite parts of Britain. It's a special spot. But yeah, like I said, relatively easy hike. Good bang for your buck, I suppose. Look at the cloud up there on your top left on that peak. I think it's part of Coldbeg. That is wonderful. And there's so many of these beautiful rocks. Stac Pollaidh itself is so well renowned for these incredible rock formations. So I'm looking forward to photographing some of them as well. So my time here in Scotland, I've booked a little cabin for sort of 4 or 5 nights. The weather forecast is insane, is what I'm trying to say. For this time of year, just every single day it's forecast to be like this, below freezing, relatively clear skies. You can see we're starting to get a bit of colour there actually, but mainly, yeah, just so settled. So I've really got to make the most of this. And yeah, on the note of my little Advent series, I think I just mentioned it, I hope you're enjoying it. Please do hit the little subscribe button there and the notification bell so that you get notified when I upload these videos. By the way, they won't be coming out in a sort of linear fashion. So for example, tomorrow's video likely isn't going to be from Scotland It's just the way that I'm doing it. The idea is you're opening a new location on each day of Advent. And it makes it a little bit easier for me as well, to be honest. Right, I was thinking about getting a photograph back there towards Pollaidh, but I think it's one of them, it just looks nice. I'm going to continue up. Wow, that is towering above us there. But I think what we get, just before we start ascending up to Stac Pollaidh proper, is a little bit of a plateau just over here on the right hand side. Could be good for the sunrise. I've quickly flung up the tripod because, oh my gosh, look at that. Just past Pollaidh there in the loch that we're photographing. Only 10 minutes ago, the light, the sunlight, the morning sunlight is starting to break through. Oh my gosh. Right, photography head on. Oh. Oh, look at this, we're on a hike. And the tripod and the camera's over the shoulder like a rocket launch. Look at that. Oh, this is unreal. Look, we've got lochs down there. We've got snow on some of them fells. Mountains, not fells. Oh, look at that sunlight breaking through. So I got the photograph from there. I'm just having to move on because I don't want to miss any opportunities here. But it was, to be honest with you, it was a panic panel. Looking back towards that light, Pollaidh, as far around as nearly Scuda. Loch Lurgan in the middle again. Wow, this is incredible. And it was a bracketed panorama. So there it is, up on the screen. I don't know if that's going to have worked. It was a true panic and a half. Oh my gosh. Oh, you know what I was saying before? Oh my God, man. I can't wait to show you this. Oh, and the light as well. Look at this, look at it. Oh, is that Sullivan? I think. Oh, you know what? Just kill me now. End it all now. I'll be delighted. What a life I'd have had to stand amongst the... Oh. Oh my God, it's so beautiful, man. Tears are brewing, right? Need to think about taking a photograph here, man. This is insane. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. Oh, so I managed to pull myself together, only just a little bit. I'm still just, oh, absolutely. My mind's just blown. My mind's blown. I've seen this view from different vantage points before, but on this special morning as well, I mean, look at the sun pouring in there behind us. Truly dream stuff this is for me. You know, you're witnessing somebody here in the ultimate perfect scenario. And I've got the camera as well to be able to document it. I don't know. So that wasn't Sullivan. Sullivan's over here. Then we've got Canisp with the snow on it in the background. And this one is Culmore with a little bit of snow on him. Really nice little bit of cloud as well, just a tiny bit, just try to a sprinkling of atmosphere. I love it. So I don't think this is good advice. I wouldn't say to do this, definitely not. But I've done another panic panel. But the reason I've done it, I've basically gone all the way here from Sullivan all the way across, right back round to Pollaidh and the loch. Really, like, too wide. But I'm thinking I could just like pick parts of it out, you know, in post-production. Really daft, pure. That's probably the biggest panic panel I've ever done. But I feel in this case it might work because everything just looks mint and I can maybe just make a couple of little photographs. But yeah, my advice would be don't do that if you can help it. Try and relax and calm down, unlike me, and, you know, think about what you're doing. I think sometimes for me the emotion, the excitement just takes over and I forget, oh yeah, I'm actually trying to take photographs here. So I've grabbed another photograph that, well, I suppose probably was a little bit more thought out, let's say, in the end, where I've zoomed in 135mm back towards Sullivan, and there's just a few nice islands in the loch just in front of him, and I think it just makes for a nice telephoto composition, you know. And then right off in the background behind him, I don't know the name of the mountain, but there's another one. He looks wonderful. And what's great is, I mean, I'll turn it around and show you, but look at the sky. It's just so blue. But we have zoomed in just there to that tiny little section somewhere like that, and yeah, a bit of the loch. And it's just like brilliant because there's none of that blue sky in the photograph whatsoever. And that's great. That's the power of the telephoto lens. So that is how that one turned out. And just, yeah, really nice, really, really beautiful golden light. Wow. Certainly not getting any worse out here, let me tell you, even with that sun coming up. I was thinking, as soon as I'm here, of grabbing a wide angle photograph with these rocks down in the foreground, because there's 3 of them here, 3 big ones, which is a good number. And I mean, that's some backdrop, isn't it? Worth a punt. So yeah, I mean, pretty simple really. Most of the shots, even though the camera's on the tripod, I've just been taking handheld. But yeah, just 3 rocks down in the foreground, and they all look beautiful. They've got a sort of light coating of frost on them, just to add a bit of interest down there and a bit of detail. It looks wonderful. And wide angle, obviously, is brilliant because I can point down at the rocks and still fit so many of the mountains, off in the background, up in the top of the frame. So that's the best of what is probably a bad bunch, to be honest. But I mean, to be fair, probably can't go too far wrong here. Oh man, that was honestly epic, and it still is. But when that light started coming through, I was pretty much in exactly the right place at the right time. I was lucky. Well, I wasn't lucky because I dragged myself out of bed early and walked up a mountain to be here. But you know what I mean. Oh, back on the path now. Look at this. Look at this. We could have just stayed here. It's all so beautiful. Oh. By the way, I do hope you know what I mean now. When I was saying earlier, it sounded a bit silly, where it all feels relatively flat, and then you've just got the mountains jutting up, flying up from the land. It's how I've always viewed this place. But yeah, it looks incredible. Just so steep, I suppose, aren't they? Big straight cliff faces. Oh, so we mustn't be, well, I mean, we've still got a fair old way to go up there. But yeah, I think the path's going to take us round to the sort of northern area of Stac Pollaidh, and then we start going up the final ascent. But wow. You know what, I reckon you'd be up here where I'm stood now, from where I parked my van, in, of course it depends on your fitness, I always say this, like 40 minutes maximum. I reckon I'd be up here in like 25 minutes. What's going on there? That is incredible. A bit of ham and cheese. I believe the cheese is from Orkney Islands as well. I'll tell you what, man. Hang on a minute. Tell you what. This isn't the dream. Got ham and cheese butty, them views. And yeah, I'm just taking another quick photograph in between munching away here. And I think it's going to be all right. It's just these incredible sort of like rock formations that we've got here. I'm struggling here with the camera, aren't I? But yeah, the sun's risen obviously a little bit more now, and just over these rocks that are behind you, it's peaking. And if I hold the camera up like this in the right spot, f16, I can get a sun star in the top right hand side of the image, and it looks really cool. It's all about it's fine movements. It's about getting that sun in exactly the right spot so it's just peeking over the rocks, and then it's a nice clean sun star. And yeah, over to this left hand side again with the lochs and all the mountains, the snow topped mountains. It looks cool. I suppose the only thing I would moan about is the sky, I suppose. It's a bit bland and clear, but then in saying that, we have got one small section of cloud moving from right to left, and that's going to be in the top of the scene, so that's good. Although it sounds like it's a little bit of nothing, it does just add a little bit. It breaks up the sky a bit rather than just a big blank area of blue. But yeah, just experimenting a little bit more than anything. F16 to get the sun star. Oh, I dropped my sandwich, man. F16 to get the sun star. ISO 160 and 1/100th of a second. I can't use the tripod here because I need to get up really high. I'm sort of on my tiptoes. But yeah, probably quite nice. Right, time for me sandwich. Oh, look at that. Not too long until we're up in that sun there. Wow, this is amazing. Truly, truly, truly spectacular. And oh my gosh, look at the conditions as well. We've just got all of this cloud, this mist moving across, and I don't know if it's gonna be any good for taking photographs really. Might just get in the way, but I mean, look at it to look at the atmosphere. This is amazing. So, I mean, we're pretty much at the top now. I mean, could clamber up there, but I don't really fancy that, to be honest. And I mean, way more sort of snow up here than I first thought there was going to be. Obviously, there's not loads of it, but yeah, from when I was looking down at the start of the hike, I just thought it was going to be a bit of frost, but this is decent. So, incredible foreground. I mean, look at some of these rocks here, ladies and gents. Aren't they so cool? Think about foreground and stuff with them in. Wow, they are like otherworldly. And then we've still got all these incredible views to the north as well. So yeah, I'm going to try my best to work with the light because it's quite late in the morning now, but of course this time of year, the light just stays incredible all day, so dramatic. Yeah, just mull about up here, see if we can find one nice shot at least from the summit. Oh, as well, bit of a tip, if you're walking in snow, just be careful because obviously you're putting footprints everywhere. You could be ruining some potential photographs that you might find further down the line, you know. Oh, what a treat, man, what a treat. Still photographing in this direction. I was quite keen to try and get something down here, but you can see the lock's kind of cut off by the top of Stac Pollaidh here, and you know, shooting directly into the sun. Even though I said the light's still quite pleasant, it is harsh. It just makes everything difficult. Big massive bright patch down there on the loch. And well, to be honest, I'm still just so in awe of everything that's going on here. So all I'm doing simply, I'm keeping it so simple, as I so often do, I think, is wide angle lens, and I'm zoomed in a bit, about 18mm, and you know, just some of these incredible rocks down here in the foreground. I've made sure, I think, that I haven't stood on any of this down here because that's my precious foreground. And then yeah, just looking back to this view once again, and probably overkill, but I am focus stacking just because, you know, these first few rocks here are so close to my lens, man. But f11 should be absolutely fine, to be fair. ISO 64 and 1/40th. I'll grab that now and then I'll get the focus stack in a sec, but yeah, probably complete and utter overkill. I think I get like nervous, you know, when I've hiked up to a mountain and it's been a big drive. You know, it's a big commitment, isn't it? Last thing I want to do is get home and I've done something wrong technically. So just try and cover all of the bases, but not the best of light. Sky's a bit rubbish still, but should be half decent.
Stac Pollaidh was so beautiful that I had to revisit on the same day. I hiked up again for the sunset, less for the photography and more for the spectacle. I did, however, take a few photographs and experimented with some different approaches, and here's what I got. And I even flew the drone up and got this panorama image of the sunset.
Wow, that was absolutely epic. I've just been completely blown away by this place this morning. Oh, like I said, all relatively easy as well, not too bad. Now, I would like to stick around, to be honest. I could spend hours around here, but I suppose the behind the scenes of this little Advent series that I'm doing, there's a lot of video editing and photograph editing, which is fine. You know, it's a challenge that I've taken on, but I've just got to get back. I've got to get back to my little cabin and edit some videos and stuff. But yeah, if you'd love to follow me along on the little Advent series, do hit the subscribe button. I'd be delighted to have you along. Hit the little notification bell as well, so that you get notified when I upload each of my videos every day, right up until Christmas Eve. But yeah, thank you so much for your support. Please comment below. You're keeping me going, and I really hope you enjoyed this morning's adventure as much as I did, although that's probably unlikely. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next adventure. Out.